Checking accounts. Everyone has one. Everyone needs one. You probably use your checking account almost every day. But how do you know if you have a good one? And how do you get more benefits from your checking account? So stick around and we'll tell you. And don't forget to leave a deposit in our like and subscribe button. It's open 24/7. You're listening to Financial Sense, Arizona's financial podcast that gives you insights that you could only get from a friend in the business. Recorded and brought to you by National Bank of Arizona, the bank of the community. Hello, I'm your host, Brent Cannon. I'm the president and director of the community bank here at National Bank of Arizona. Today, we have a very special guest, Paul Bradshaw, who's our branch manager at the Central Branch here in Phoenix.
Thanks for having me, Brent. Appreciate it.
Glad to have you. Really look forward to the our subject today. It's one of those subjects that is everybody is supposed to know about, but when you start getting down to it, there's probably a lot more information for them to hear and to learn about. Just so everybody knows, we are not professional podcasters. We are, in fact, bankers. Paul is a banker, and Paul works with customers every day. Is that right?
Absolutely. Definitely not a professional podcaster.
Yeah.
Work with a lot of consumer and business clients, but not a podcaster.
So today we're going to talk about checking accounts, what they're for, what you can get out of them, what should you get out of them if you're missing some benefits potentially. But it's one of those subjects that everybody thinks they know about because generally speaking, they're kind of the same across all different banks.
Sure.
But there are some differences. And today, I think you're going to explain those differences to us. All right, Paul, so let's kind of ease our way into this. So let's talk about what a checking account is and what people generally use checking accounts for.
Absolutely. It's your day-to-day account. Everyone needs a checking account. If you have a bank account, more than likely, it's a checking account. You're going to use it for depositing money, paying your bills, ATM use, your direct deposit from work. There's a lot of different functions that a checking account has and that you can use it for.
Right.
But in general, it's the main everyday checking account for your average consumer.
Sure. So the checking account, generally the account that people are going to draft, whether it's a check or a wire, auto, generally that's where all that activity takes place.
Exactly. So if someone's going to be, splitting a bill at a restaurant, or they're going to be, sending maybe mom a little bit of, money for a gift or something, typically that's all coming from the checking because there's no limits.
That's right. And that's really the key. So what makes a good checking account?
You're going to want to look at a couple things. It's going to be, your mobile, online banking. You should make sure that you have access to that, right? Make sure that you know what those minimum balances are or requirements to waive those monthly service fees are. You're going to want to make sure that also, if you do need it, you want to have overdraft protection. How can you protect yourself, right? If the checking account offers it, great. If not, let's see what other products there are to enhance that checking account. Another huge one, though, is ATM access. You want to make sure that you know where the ATMs are located for your specific bank. So that way, if you do need to access an ATM that's maybe out of your network, you can find something that maybe will either reduce that cost or won't charge you at all.
One of the most important aspects to checking accounts, and it's where I see a lot of consumers and small businesses, frankly, get in trouble with checking accounts, is when they overdraw their account.
Absolutely.
And they don't have sufficient funds to meet a current demand on that account, whether it's a check, debit card transaction, and they're all kind of handled differently. Yeah. But what's your recommendation to clients regarding overdraft and kind of staying out of that non-sufficient fund jail?
Totally. There's a lot of different things you can do. As I mentioned before, you can get an overdraft protection, a line of credit potentially to, back up the checking account.
Right.
Or you can link a savings account. That would also help you if you had no funds in the checking to make sure those bills get paid or any payment coming out, really. You can also put alerts on your account through your online banking. So that way, if the account ever drops below a certain limit, then you're at least alerted. You're going to know.
That's
so that
a great
way,
tip.
You can jump in and make sure that everything's taken care of before you have a mistake.
And then going back to the linked saving or linked other type of accounts that can back up a checking account,
right?
You want to make sure that there's not a fee associated with that, right?
Correct. And if there is a fee associated with it, at least know what it is. And if it's going to outweigh the cost of you maybe missing a rent payment or missing some type of other payment, it's probably worth it if it
will
does.
Be worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how do customers get even more from their checking accounts?
So there's a lot of accounts out there, but I'll touch on one of ours specifically that has some major perks involved with it. So it's going to be rate discounts, some credit card perks, and then some interest rate boosts on it.
So speaking of those type of benefits, let's talk about the one we have here at National Bank of Arizona, our Gold checking account. Let's talk about some of those unique features and benefits that are with the Gold checking account.
So our new Gold checking account, super excited about that. We have a couple of different options with that Gold checking account, some of which I mentioned just a moment ago. Some of those options being that we have a 0.50% rate discount on any consumer loan if you have that account. And then you also would get a 0.25% perk on your credit card rewards. So if you have a cash back or any type of rewards, it's going to increase that reward rate for you.
Are there more features, benefits? What else is involved in the Gold checking account?
There's quite a few. Okay. So we have no fees on any ATM domestic.
Wow.
So if you go to any ATM that's not associated with Zions Bank Corporation,
right,
they will waive and reimburse that fee, including the fee that ATM charges as well.
Yeah, it's a great benefit.
It's pretty awesome. I think a lot of people, going to Vegas now, they're going to be like, oh, wow, don't have to pay those little fees anymore.
That's right.
Which is pretty cool. There's no paper statement fees. You will not have to worry about cashier's check fees either. So they're going to waive the cashier's check fee for you. You can get a free safe box, 3x5, nice and easy. There's also some other perks like an interest rate booster. So if you do have that account connected to any savings, money market account, you're going to get a little added boost to that interest that you're earning on those accounts, which is always a great thing. And then the biggest heavy hitter, $1,000 closing cost on mortgages.
A credit.
Oh,
that's great.
It's awesome. So anyone who's looking for some assistance, if they need that extra $1,000, which I think most of us do, $1,000 to help you with your mortgage closing costs.
You know what I love about the Gold checking account, Paul, is that, and I think most people see the world like this. If I give you my business and I give you all my business, and in this case, a Gold checking account, that's really all of their business. Yeah. They should receive benefits for that.
I agree.
And that's what I love about the Gold checking account.
It really shows the general public that we care. We are a bank of the community. Right. We have this awesome account, and those that I've talked to about the account already are extremely excited about it. It's a one-of-a-kind account that I know that a lot of our clients are going to really love, and they're going to feel proud to bank with National Bank of Arizona.
Boy, I agree. And I would just challenge anyone. You look at the benefits of the Gold checking account, and it stands up very, very well.
It does. It has a lot of perks that I think a lot of people don't always necessarily think about.
Right.
But once you hear and once you learn about those perks, you realize, wow, I've been missing out on these all along. In the context of picking a checking account, I think two of the biggest perks or two of the biggest benefits that I see, especially working with consumers on a day-to-day basis, would be the 0.50% rate discount on all consumer loans and 0.25% increase on your rewards on your credit cards.
So that's great information. And of course, you can open this account, Gold checking account, online. We're going to leave a link in the description.
I still recommend, if you do want to open it up online, awesome, but come into a branch, come sit down with a banker and let them teach you about the account. Let them give you the knowledge that you need so that way you utilize all those perks. You get the most out of the account and you're not walking out the door leaving some things untouched.
Well, I think that's just great advice. And I think that's, I can make this a really general comment for customers, small business, consumers. Have a relationship with your bank and a banker at your bank. That's really the value of a bank, because outside of that, banks kind of do the same stuff. But boy, when you have that relationship, you can identify so many opportunities, needs, and be so much further ahead if you'll just take that time.
100%. You may not know what you're missing out on
exactly
either.
Right.
Right? But it's a game changer to have someone that you know by name and they know you by name.
Yep. The old adage, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
So, Paul, we're talking about checking accounts. I'd love for you to share your top tips for selecting a checking account.
Number one, link your savings account to your checking account so you can get that better interest rate. Number two, make sure that you have direct deposit set up so you have faster access to your funds. Number three, make sure that you bundle your services. You may have some other benefits or other perks that you may not even know about. Make sure you tie everything together. And number four, make sure you set up alerts to monitor that account. Make sure you're not getting unnecessary overdraft fees, and make sure that you actually have full control over your account.
I think those are great tips. And what I hear when I hear you kind of sharing those tips is that we really are trained these days to understand the value of our consumer dollar. And that's what this is. And that's really your advice is make sure that it's linked and put together so you get the most value for the business that you're providing the bank. And that's really, at the end of the day, what the Gold checking account does.
It does.
Yeah. What it's for, what do people use? Hang on. Let me do that again. So, Paul, let's start with checking account. Just high level. What do people use it for? What? Okay, we'll get going. All right, so that's it for today, folks. Great information, Paul. Always a reminder, make sure and check us out on your favorite podcasting platform, and you can also watch us on YouTube. Don't forget to like and subscribe.